Look at all these explosions! Hey everyone, it's Saoz, welcome. As I'm finally done complaining about Nilo Bloom being better than Burgeon, I decided to raise my Thoma to level 90, and what I got is one of the most fun experiences I've had in this game for quite a while. And thus, I want to talk a bit about this team, what it is, how to build it, how to play it, what are its pros and cons, and of course showcase it in Abyss Floor 12. Alright, let's start with the basics. Burgeon is a tri-element reaction between Pyro, Dendro and Hydro. Or more specifically, when Hydro reacts with Dendro, it creates a Bloom Core, which then explodes, dealing AoE Dendro damage to both enemies and you if contacted by Pyro. The damage dealt by Burgeon will depend on elemental mastery and the level of the Pyro character triggering the reaction. So to have a Burgeon team you need a Hydro character, a Dendro character and a Pyro character. The first slot is somewhat flexible and there are different characters you can put there, but my favorite variant of the team is Pyro, Dendro and 2 Hydros. If it comes to the Pyro character, you generally want somebody who will often deal AoE Pyro damage. It can be something like Diluc or Xiangling, but the best option will be Thoma. He applies Pyro in AoE from off-field and provides small shields that will give you some resistance to interruption. If it comes to the Dendro character, my favorite pick is Nahida. She applies a lot of Dendro, letting you produce many blooms. And as for the other two characters, I like using Kokomi and Xingqiu. Kokomi will heal your party and reliably apply Hydro in AoE from off-field, and Xingqiu will apply a lot of off-field Hydro in single target instances, as well as provide some defensive utility. Oh yeah, he's also gonna deal his usual Xingqiu damage, which is, pretty damn good. You can do something like on-field Kokomi and then 4th slot Fischl or some Anemo unit, but honestly I found Kokomi Xingqiu combo to be very comfortable to use. Also tried swapping Nahida or Kokomi for the most adorable Ban, Yao, but unfortunately I got much worse results with her on the team. It's a shame, cause I'd really like to use her. Alright, how to build the Burgeon team. Because most of the team's damage will come from Burgeon, it's very important to level your Pyro unit to level 90 and put elemental mastery artifacts on them. Of course, it's important to have enough energy recharge to reliably use your burst too. My Thoma uses 4-piece Gilded Dreams with ER Sands and EM Goblet and Hat. Flowers of Paradise Lost will be slightly better than Gilded Dreams, but it's better to farm Gilded because you also want to use Deepwood Memories on Nahida. As for Thoma's weapon, either Favonius Lance or Kitane Cross Spear will be good. I myself use the Kitane Cross Spear because it gives elemental mastery, so more damage. Oh, and just a small thing, if you use the Kitane Cross Spear, you want to use burst first and then your skill. On Nahida you want to use 4-piece Deepwood. It's really important to have that set on your team, as it will greatly increase your damage. If it comes to the stats, just build her as usual, so it can be 3 EM pieces, EM Dendro Crit or any combination of those. And if it comes to weapons, you can use Fav Codex to help your team with energy, or go with any of the damage options like 5 stars, Magic Guide, Widsith, Mappa Mare, Solar Pearl. I use Solar Pearl because I have it and I don't struggle with energy, but yeah, often Fav Codex will be the best. On Kokomi I use my generalist build, so 4-piece Tenacity with HP and healing bonus, and a lot of ER substats. 4-piece Tenacity doesn't provide that much to that team, but I just can't be bothered to farm a different set. You can go for something like 2-piece Healing, 2-piece HP for more healing, or 4-piece Instructor for EM buff, but that will of course come at the cost of healing because it's a 4-star set. Oh yeah, I forgot about this set, but you can also use 4-piece Ocean Hued Clam. The 2-piece will give you some healing bonus and the 4-piece will deal some additional damage. And as for the weapon, I personally recommend the refined prototype Amber, because it gives HP and restores your energy, which is quite important on Kokomi. You can use Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers to buff Xingqiu, but it won't be that good in this team. And Xingqiu wants to use his standard build, so 4-piece Emblem with Attack or ER Sands, Hydro Damage Goblet and Crit Hat. And of course Favonius Sword. So, what's this team's rotation? I basically start with Nahida's E, then Kokomi's E, then Thoma's Q and E, then Xingqiu Q and E, and then Kokomi Q and use an ace and just reapply Nahida's E and keep Thoma's and Xingqiu's bursts up. Also, after using Thoma's burst, every single action will be preceded by a normal attack, so for example, after I set up Thoma, I swap to Xingqiu and then normal attack, burst, normal attack, skill, then Kokomi, normal attack, burst and normal attack spam. I do that to utilize Thoma's burst because you don't want to have too many Dendro cores up, as only 3 of them can deal damage at the same time. Also, an ace triggers Xingqiu's burst, so that's important too. Should you use Nahida's burst? Honestly, I don't know. I don't notice that much difference with or without it. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. And that's basically how this team works. However, there are a couple caveats to this team, mainly because of how Burning and Nahida's E work. If you proc Burning on the enemy, you might vaporize it with Hydro, and then Nahida's E doesn't apply Dendro, so you have to swap to her to on-field a bit. With this team it didn't happen to me too often, but sometimes you can mess up the reactions. Also, a lot of people say that Hyper Bloom is better, and it's easier to build because EM Raiden and Cookie don't really need ER, and while it is kinda true, Hyper Bloom doesn't have cool explosions, so, you know, Burgeon is cooler. Alright, time for the showcase. I'll be using the Burgeon team on the first half, and because I'm constantly on the Yoipium, on the second half I'll use my Yoimiya over Vape. Alright, starting with 5 Rift Hounds, Spin with Nahida, Kokomi E, Thoma Q and E, Xingqiu Q and E, Nahida's Burst, Kokomi's Burst, and we can attack a bit. Alright, 5 are dead, so we're gonna reapply Nahida's E, attack a bit, refresh Thoma, and finish them off. And now we have Pyrolector and 2 big dogs. Apply Nahida's E, Jellyfish, Xingqiu setup, Nahida's Burst, Thoma's not ready, so we'll refresh the Jellyfish, Burst with Thoma, and Lector's getting the shield, so we'll focus on the dogs for a bit. And the shield is up, so we're back to beating the Herald. This time mostly focusing on Hydro attacks. Gonna use Thoma's Burst to finish off the dogs, and we finish the Lector with them. 8:57, not a bad time, but could be a bit better. Also, I think my Thoma doesn't have energy now. Alright, second half. I'll just show the first rotation because it's basically the same thing over and over again. Zhongli Shield, Yelan's Dash and Burst, Summon Oz, Yoimiya E and Pew Pew. Look at that beautiful 70k vape. The triangles are dead now and we're just repeating that. And we finish the chamber with 7:33 on the timer. Alright, 12-2. We've got 2 dancers and 2 pyro gunners. I'm gonna apply Nahida's E and then try to push one of the pyro guys to the middle so I can AoE a bit. Set up Xingqiu. Thoma doesn't have burst ready, so have to wait a bit. And the pyro guys split up. Alright, failed to refresh the Jellyfish because I am too late. And I'll beat the gunners with Kokomi to break the shields. One gunner down, and while I'm dealing with the second one, Virgins will kill off the dancers. So now a group of husks and big curve guy, I'm not sure what he's called. Thoma isn't really the best here because the pyro guy will give them shields, but I kinda forgot why that's happening, so I'm beating random guys. I'm kinda just randomly using abilities because my cooldowns kinda slipped apart for a bit, but now I can set up properly, and after using Kokomi's Burst, I finally remember about pyro guy giving the shields, so I start throwing fish at him. And finish him off, so now it'll be easy. Reapply Nahida's E because of course I forgot about it, and it ran out. Thoma's Burst with nice 27k Burgeons, skill, Xingqiu Burst and skill, get frozen, and restore some energy to Thoma while finishing off the Earth guy. And we're done with 8:37 on the timer. Second half is a Simon, which I won't show because I feel like I fight it in every second video, but the fight went very smoothly, although unfortunately I didn't end with full energy on Yelan, so that's gonna be a problem in 12-3. Anyway, I finished 12-2 with 7:44 on the timer. And finally time for the last chamber. I'm not the biggest fan of the first half, it has only 2 mobs at the time, and the next spawns are hard to group without an ammo. Alright, we do our setup with Nahida, Kokomi, Thoma and Xingqiu. Fortunately, first 2 Ermites are melee, so they stay kinda grouped, and we can AoE them with Burgeons. We finish off the Dancer, and the Axe guy has half HP left, and Mirror Maiden spawns. I hate them so much, like they're way too tanky. We kill the Thunder guy, use Thoma, and mark the mobs with Nahida. Unfortunately, we can't really group them, so we just have to beat them with single target damage. Oh, and look what happened. We kinda ran out of Dendro and Pyro on the Fire Lady, so Nahida's E didn't proc, and we beat her with just Hydro. So gotta reapply Dendro, go to Thoma, and after a couple seconds Pyro Woman is dead. and now only Mirror Maiden left. Used the jellyfish, burst, and beat her a bit, got her to 50% health. Used Thoma's burst, Nahida's E, Xingqiu's E, and we finished first half with 8:36 left on the timer. How did the second half go? Because I messed up Yelan's energy on a Simon, my rotation got screwed, so the V-shops went much worse than usual, but I managed to beat them on time with 7:17 left on the timer. And so we did the floor 12 with all the stars using Thoma Burgeon and Yoimiya over Vape. So, my thoughts? The team was actually pretty great. There definitely are downsides to the team. The biggest one I'd say is, as you saw, you can run out of Dendro reactions and start vaping, which means you have to swap to Nahida to reapply Dendro. It's not that big of a deal, but it can kinda throw off your rhythm. Another thing is that you have to position yourself so that you face the Dendro cores when you attack, because you want Thoma's burst to hit them. And finally, with Nahida, Kokomi and Xingqiu, you could just make a Hyper Bloom team and just use Cookie or Raiden instead of Thoma. But I personally find Burgeon to be way more satisfying, and just like Hyper Bloom, it still is a great team that doesn't need that much investment. Majority of your damage will come from Thoma, so you have to level him up and give him EM and enough ER, but if it comes to other characters, while it is important to give Kokomi and Xingqiu enough ER to keep the rotation smooth, you don't have to hyper invest in them. My builds are decentish, but nothing crazy, and you saw that the team did really well, even in situations that Burgeon isn't really suited for. So yeah, I'd generally recommend giving this team a try, especially if you like looking at all these explosions. This is what Klee mains wish they could do. If not Burgeon, you can always just make Hyper Bloom and you'll have a great team. So yeah, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this little showcase. Oh yeah, Fontaine releases in like 2 days, so hopefully that'll be nice. I wish you all great fun with it. When I'm done with questing and exploration, I'm probably gonna make a video with my thoughts on it. Also, a certain very handsome gentleman will get a rerun, so we'll try to make a video about him too. So, thanks for watching, have a great day, and see ya!